house shrouded in mystery for over a century. Built in the late 1800s, it once belonged to the wealthy Arkwright family, who mysteriously vanished one stormy night. No trace of them was ever found, and since that fateful evening, Grey Hollow Manor has been abandoned, except for the whispers of those who claim the house is still occupied. But by what? Let me take you on a journey inside the chilling walls of Grey Hollow Manor, where a dark secret lies hidden. The house sat at the end of a long winding road. Overgrown trees cast shadows over its dilapidated walls, and its windows, cracked and broken, seemed to watch anyone who dared approach. For decades, no one had the courage to go inside. The manor had developed a reputation. Rumors of eerie lights flickering at night, whispers of children's laughter, and strange figures glimpsed through the windows. The story truly begins when Emma, a local journalist, is assigned to investigate the manor for an upcoming Halloween special. Emma was skeptical of ghost stories and believed there was a logical explanation behind every tale. But when she arrived at Grey Hollow Manor, something about the air seemed wrong. As she stepped through the rusted iron gate, she couldn't help but notice the silence. No birds, no wind, just an oppressive stillness. Inside the manor, the air was damp and thick. Dust covered every surface, and cobwebs hung in every corner. As Emma began to explore, her flashlight flickered. A minor inconvenience, she thought, until she noticed that it only seemed to falter in certain rooms. The first real sign of something wrong was the grandfather clock in the main hall. Long dead, its hands had been stuck at 3:15 for years. But as she passed by, the clock suddenly chimed. The deep echo filled the hall, even though the hands remained frozen. Emma's heart raced, but she pressed on. In the dining room, she found the table still set, as if waiting for the Arkwright family to return. She felt a chill as she heard the faintest sound of clinking silverware. She spun around, her flashlight darting through the room, but saw nothing. Yet the feeling of being watched persisted. Determined to find something tangible, Emma stumbled upon a hidden study behind a large bookcase. Inside, she found journals belonging to Harold Arkwright, the family patriarch. His last entries grew increasingly erratic. He wrote of strange happenings, voices in the night, shadows that moved on their own, and his children waking up with vivid nightmares. His wife, Clara, had become obsessed with the idea that the house was haunted, and their youngest daughter, Lily, had begun to talk to someone who wasn't there. Emma felt a cold draft blow through the room, causing the journal's pages to flutter. She turned, and for a brief second, she saw a figure in the doorway, a little girl in a white dress watching her. But when Emma blinked, the figure was gone. Shaken, but not deterred, Emma decided to investigate the upper floors. As she climbed the creaky staircase, she heard the faintest hum of an old lullaby. The sound grew louder as she reached the nursery. The room looked untouched, the small bed neatly made, and toys scattered across the floor. But the moment Emma stepped inside, the door slammed shut behind her. Her flashlight flickered and went out. In the darkness, the air grew cold, so cold that her breath turned to mist. She could hear the soft patter of footsteps around her. And then, a voice, a child's voice. "Will you play with me?" Emma froze, the hair on her neck standing on end. The voice giggled, but it was not a sound of joy. It was hollow, echoing, as if it came from everywhere at once. She fumbled with her flashlight, and when it finally flickered on, she saw it, Lily, standing in the corner, her eyes dark and lifeless, her head tilted unnaturally to the side. "I've been waiting," the child whispered. Emma screamed and backed away, but when she blinked, the girl was gone. Rushing downstairs, Emma pieced together the horrible truth. The Arkwright family hadn't vanished. They were trapped. Harold had been right. Something in the house had latched onto them. And now, it wanted Emma too. She tried to leave, but every door she opened led her back inside. The house was shifting, twisting, alive. Shadows moved in the corners of her vision, and the air was thick with the whispers of the dead. In her desperation, she returned to the study. There, she found a letter, unfinished, written by Clara Arkwright. It explained that the house had once been a sanctuary, built on land sacred to an ancient order, but the Arkwrights had disturbed something that had been buried deep beneath the foundation. The entity now claimed the house as its own, and anyone who entered was its prisoner. Realizing the entity fed on fear and trapped souls, Emma knew she had to break free. She gathered her strength, confronting the entity in the nursery, where it was strongest. As the ghostly figure of Lily reappeared, Emma spoke to her, trying to reach whatever remained of the innocent child. "I know you're still in there," she whispered. "You don't have to stay. You don't have to let it control you." For a moment, the air grew still. The house seemed to groan as if resisting. But then, Lily smiled, a sad, broken smile. And in that moment, the house began to crumble around Emma. The walls groaned, the floor shook, and as the entity's grip weakened, Emma ran. She barely made it out as Grey Hollow Manor collapsed in on itself, leaving nothing but ruins behind. The Arkwright family was finally free, and so was Emma. Or so she thought. As she drove away, her rearview mirror flickered, and for a brief second, she saw Lily sitting in the back seat, smiling. "Thank you for joining me on this journey through Grey Hollow Manor. Remember, not all ghost stories are just stories. Sometimes they linger longer than we expect. Until next time, keep your eyes open. You never know what might be watching you."